Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker, shills, Dutch-late serfs, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome. And today I want to talk about the nuclear bomb capabilities of Iran. And I've done videos over the last 10 or 15 years about this idea because Netanyahu in Israel has been warning for over 40 years that Iran was right around the corner from getting a bomb. They're a day away, they're a week away, they're a month away, they're a year away. And it gets to be a little bit like a boy crying wolf. And Scott Ritter's come out with an article recently, and he's somebody who should know. He used to be a nuclear arms inspector for the United States, and he's been an outspoken critic of this ongoing idea that Iran was close to getting a nuclear bomb. But now Scott Ritter has come out with a shocking article about the fact that we are there now. And so I find this a really interesting development because I've been one of those that has seen these warnings going on for 30 or 40 years and didn't give it much cred. And but things have changed now. One of the reasons why I knew that Iran was not pursuing a nuclear bomb per se was that the Ayatollah Khomeini in 2003 issued an edict, a fatwa, saying that Iran was not going to develop chemical, biological, or nuclear weapons because it was against their religious beliefs and they didn't want to contribute to the world that has been developing all these kind of weapons. I think that has a lot of credibility. And the fact is that they've been working on nuclear power for a long time, for essentially what a lot of countries all over the world have done to supply electricity and supply power for their country, a very legitimate use. And but we've still had this saber rattling by the West and by Israel that they were using this to develop a bomb. And so the fact is that they've kind of had the capabilities to move in that direction if they wanted, but they haven't. But now things have changed, and we've seen 3 or 4 official declarations by Iranian officials talking about the fact that the game has now changed because now they have an existential threat coming from Israel, and this is very real, and we're going to see a lot of this unfold pretty soon because Israel has, everyone knows now, Israel has plans to retaliate against Iran sometime in the near future, and it will be a sizable attack, I assure you. And the discussions have involved the idea that Israel is going to target all of Iran's nuclear facilities, both power stations that are supplying power for the country, but also any areas where they think there might be any nuclear weapons development going on. They're not going to discern between them, I'm sure. But that's a real game changer. So one of the things that's really interesting to me about this is that Iran on its own had no plans to develop nuclear weapons, but Israel's put them in a position where they feel compelled to. And I'm surprised that they haven't developed nuclear weapons before because, of course, even though they haven't never been officially declared, the world knows that Israel is armed to the teeth with nuclear weapons. And Iran certainly has been aware of that, and you would have thought that they would have developed nuclear weapons along the way just because the antagonism between Israel and Iran has existed for a long time, and it seems like it would have been prudent for them to get ahead of the game and develop these weapons long before now. So I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but it shows a little bit of Iranian nobility in a way that they didn't want to develop nuclear weapons, and they haven't. But now the lines have been crossed. One of the reasons why they've been open to facilitate the development of nuclear weapons quicker, unfortunately, is when Trump was president, he withdrew from the agreement that the West and the U.S. had with Iran. And one of the complications there is that oversight of the Iranian nuclear programs pretty much vanished. So at least when the agreement was in place, there was a way to at least monitor where Iran was with their nuclear program. So in the meantime, in the last 7 years, they've upgraded their centrifuges. They've gotten more uranium, and they're in a position to create nuclear bombs now. And to be sure, the bombs they develop will be primitive, but they'll get the job done. And in this article, he talks about the fact that they could, in a day or two, create 3 to 5 uranium, uh, what they call gun bombs, akin to the bombs that the U.S. dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima back in 1945. And they obviously have the missile technology. So what they would end up doing is uh, basically arming 3 to 5 missiles with nuclear tips, and especially on a country as small as Israel, that would create a lot of damage. For all intents and purposes, if they created these weapons, they got them through the defenses of Israel, and they landed in Israel, there's a lot of ways that Israel would be done as a state. So this is pretty simple, pretty scary stuff. And like I say, I've spent years watching this potentiality of Iran getting the bomb. Now they're put in a position where they feel their existence is threatened, and they can create a bomb within a few days, however crude. And we are entering a new era. So we'll have to see what happens. The Israeli attack on Iran is coming up very soon, and all bets are off after that. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too?